It's my 10th birthday today. Wait, that doesn't sound right, but it is right. Roll the thing. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Eli Green and today marks a huge milestone in my drumming career. I have officially hit 10 years, an entire decade as an artist with Dream Cymbals and gongs. The last decade with Dream Cymbals has been amazing and I'm so stoked to be able to sit here and make this video. Today I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane into how I came to play these cymbals in the first place, some highlights of my time as an artist with them, and as well as give you guys some info on how I ended up endorsing the product to start with, which is something that I know a lot of you guys want to know more about, the ins and outs of endorsements and how they kind of work. So we're going to dig into that. And finally, Dream were kind enough to send me this really big mystery box, which we're going to unbox. I have no idea what's in here. I'm assuming it's cymbals, but it could be a box full of peanuts, so I guess we'll find out. But whatever is inside, we're gonna set it up on the kit and give it a listen. So, let's get into it. Let me just interrupt for a second to be that annoying YouTube guy. I've been looking over my analytics and I got a lot of viewers who watch lots of my videos but aren't subscribed. So if you're one of those people who's seen a couple of my videos, you enjoy the content, it would mean a lot to me if you'd hit the subscribe button because it goes a long way to helping the YouTube algorithm and helping getting these videos out to a wider audience, which enables me to make more of them. So if you like what you see, you're enjoying these videos, you want to see more of it, you want to help support the channel, hit that subscribe button. That's the closest thing to a call to action that I can do. I don't really understand the YouTube thing yet, or maybe ever. Anyway, back to the video. Now, Dream is a much smaller business than the likes of your Zildjians, your Sabians, and Meinls. So what brought me to join this lesser known company and put my name behind their products? Well, my love affair with Dream started when I was in music school. Coming from like a hardcore punk background, the super thick and aggressive cymbals that I was using at the time just weren't cutting the mustard with all the jazz and blues that I was being asked to play in my studies. Now, as a very broke music student, I didn't exactly have the luxury of heading to the music store, swiping dad's credit card on a set of Ks, but I knew I needed something different. So I turned to the one place that I knew would be filled with fantastic recommendations on what I could check out, the Pearl Drummers Forum. Shout out to the PDF. That place is truly an amazing forum filled with some super knowledgeable players and it taught me a lot in my early years. So sound off in the comments if you're a PDF veteran. I want to hear from you. I want to drop your username. Anyway, I asked the Brains Trust for some recommendations on some great sounding cymbals that didn't break the bank, and one reply really stood out. Someone in America mentioned a little Canadian company called Dream that had just started up making handmade cymbals coming out of China that sounded great and were in my very, very restricted price range. Now, being from Australia, we're not exactly first in the world to get new products from small companies. And you gotta remember that this was a pre-mycymbal.com era. Online shopping in the drum world was not really much of a thing yet. So with no distributor, the only way to get these down under was through an insanely jank website that had like 144p video demos on the cymbals that you were buying. It was honestly about as close to buying blind as you could get. So I rolled the dice on a 20-inch Dream Bliss prototype crash ride and a 19-inch prototype to match it. It was so early on in the company's lifespan that the cymbals that were on offer were still like in the prototype phase, like crazy. A few nervous weeks later, a package arrived at my doorstep and there they were. I threw them on the kit and I honestly will never forget my reaction to the way that these sounded. I was like awestruck. These cymbals not only sounded incredible for the money that I had paid, but they just straight up sounded incredible. It wasn't just like, oh, these are good for the money. Like I genuinely felt like I'd stolen something. They were really professional sounding cymbals. So from that day on, that was it. I used them almost exclusively on every setup that I ran. Jazz, pop, rock, metal, hardcore, punk, it didn't matter. I could find a Dream cymbal that worked for basically everything. And not only that, they sounded unique compared to everything else that everyone else I knew was using. And the flavor of these cymbals has like over time become an integral part of what I sound like on the drum set. Now for those curious on how I became an artist and how these endorsement deals works, let me paint you a picture. 10 years ago, I'm out on an Australian tour with a pop band and we have an off day in Canberra and I spy a comment in a drum group from what looks like to be the new Australian distributor for Dream Cymbals. So I shoot this guy a DM and say, hey, I've been using your cymbals for ages and I was really hoping Australia was going to get an artist program online. Is that a thing? If so, like who do I talk to, man? And that guy's name was Christian Raw and he said, yes, we do. And I'm that guy. Send me a press pack and we'll talk. So I spent the rest of my day building a press kit, a bio, info on all the bands and tour dates I had coming up, a bunch of links to videos and songs that I've worked on, and some cheeky photos of me using the Dream products. And about 10 minutes later, I get a reply saying, "Hey, this looks great. When are you next in Sydney? Let's get you signed up." Well, we had a show in Manly, just outside of Sydney, the next day, 20 minutes from the warehouse. So we went down, I signed the contract, that was that. Now, I'm not 100% certain of this, but I believe I was one of, if not the first Dream artist in Australia. I was really early on in this thing because I already loved the cymbals, and it was a huge thing for me, as I've never wanted to endorse a product that I didn't love. We've all seen those players who jump from company to company chasing the best deal, and it kind of leaves you feeling like you can't take what they say seriously. I didn't want to be that guy, so to end up on what I considered like my end game cymbal company as my first deal, that was wild. Now, a big thing for prospective drummers looking to approach companies is not just in regard to how active you are and how big of a following you or your bands have, but whether you actually like the product. Like, ask yourself, if you're a business owner, are you more inclined to sign an artist who knows nothing about your products, or someone who is already out there using them and is passionate about them and understands what you're making? Now, while I can't really talk about the ins and outs of my deal, let's just say that throughout my time with Dream, they have always looked after me. And not just in terms of cheap or free cymbals or getting replacement gear to me while I'm out on tour. There's more than just discounted goods and a great artist-company relationship. Future Editing Eli here. Just a quick thank you to Riffs and Licks Australia, who are the distributors for Dream Cymbals down here. These guys do an amazing job, and they bailed me out of a situation just like that. I just got back from a 2-week headline run with my band Life Pilot, where I managed to crack my crash cymbal on like the second show by playing it like a completely normal person, not doing anything silly. Okay, I didn't actually crack it like that. It was already broken before you come at me in the comments. But the point is I reached out to the guys at like midnight on the Sunday night. We were traveling past one of the stores, as luck would have it, you know, very early the next morning, like 6 a.m., something ridiculous. We had a long travel day ahead of us. And they got back to me that night and said, "Hey, don't worry, we've called the guys. They're going to come down to the shop early, open up a couple of hours early. You can get your crash. We'll place that for nothing. You guys can get whatever strings and picks and whatever the rest of your band needs, and you can, you know, get onto your next city and, you know, have a great tour." So it's stuff like that that goes a really, really long way to, you know, making sure that I can sound good for the rest of the tour. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a good time. It wouldn't have been a good time at all. So thank you to Riffs and Licks, Ryan, Robbie, and Reese, 3 R's. You guys really saved the day. Really appreciate it. Anyway, back to the video. Over the decade, Dream has afforded me some amazing opportunities, including 2 trips to the NAMM show in LA, where I was able to hang out with the whole team and network with all the artists and all the other NAMM show attendees. I got to meet some of my heroes in the process, which was awesome. I was also invited to demo for them at Australia's Ultimate Drummers Weekend a few years back, and there was this whole period even where Dream employed me to run their Australian social media accounts, which for a struggling musician was an amazing flexible side job that, like, honestly helped me pay the rent on more than one occasion. So while I owe a lot to Dream, that's not why I've stayed with them. I genuinely love these cymbals. I love the way they sound, I love the way they feel to play, and I love how they look. Do other companies make great stuff too? Yeah. But would I rather play these? Yeah. Enough talking. Let's get into this box and see what's inside. Okay, let's get into this. Got my trusty box cutter. Let's see what's in this package. Oh boy, okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to tip this. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh. I think there's a couple of crash cymbals in there. Okay, that's like, maybe like an 18, a 16 or something. Oh, holy crap, this thing weighs a ton. Jesus Christ. That is heavy duty. I think there's like a couple of ride cymbals in there. That's nuts. Okay, that's everything that's in the box. Other than that, we'll clean that up later. That's future Eli's problem. Let's start with these big cymbals here, right? Get this bubble wrap off. See what we're dealing with here. Ooh, damn. Man, these look nice. What have we got here? We have a 22-inch contact crash ride. Oh wow, this thing's bendy. Holy. Oh my God. Still going. Oh my Lord. That is cool. Dude, you barely need to touch this thing. It's just got so much sustain. It opens up so easily. That's really exciting. I've been using the 22-inch contact ride behind me here for like, I don't know, a while, and it's really great, but it's a little on the thicker side to what I usually use. So this is super cool. I can't wait to check this one out. Awesome. Okay, underneath that, we have the 24-inch contact ride. Oh, hell yes. Oh, it's so big. Dude, this thing is nuts. Wow. This is sick. So now you can see it's got a couple stick marks on it. So I'm guessing that these maybe have like sat either in the shop floor or the factory floor for a while, maybe been demoed a little bit, but that's all right. Like, I don't pay for them. Who cares if they've been played a little bit? Man, that's nuts. That's a 24-inch crash ride if ever I've heard one. Okay, on to the little guys. Let's see what we got cooking in here. Okay, let's go the bigger one first. I like this yellow paper. I've always been a fan of the yellow paper. We have an 18-inch contact crash ride. Yeah, that's cool. Listen to it go. I like that one. I have been using the 18-inch contact crash ride over here, but it sounds a little different. It's like this one's a little brighter, a little trashier, which is cool. I might actually swap that around. We'll see which one I like better. But that's awesome. I love this cymbal. I've been using it a lot. And what do we have here? Oh, no way. A fresh set of 16-inch contact hi-hats. Oh, sick. I love these cymbals so much. I've been using a pair of these with Life Pilot for a long time. And like they haven't cracked, which is insane because that band usually just chews through cymbals. But these are awesome. Like I love these cymbals. They're incredibly bright for a big set of hi-hats. I was actually thinking of ordering some more. So way to go, Dream. You read my mind. Yeah, cool. All right, let's chuck all these on the kit and see what they sound like. That is a beast. That is a beast of a cymbal. Holy, wow. It's still going. Wow, that's cool. Big washy 24-inch ride. Right, let's try the 22-inch crash ride. I like this one. This is cool. This is very cool. That's got a really nice bell on it, actually, surprisingly for a crash ride. It's definitely like a looser bell than a ride version, but surprising, actually. I thought that was going to be a lot washier than it is, but the crash is beautiful. That thing is really fun. That might make it into the tour setup. We'll see. 18. Yeah, that's nice. It's a little bit trashier than my other 18 Contact, and almost maybe like a little shorter in decay, which I kind of like. It's a bit more like hit and quit. It's a little nastier, but it's not as like piercing. I kind of like it. I might have to shoot the two out and see which one I take with me, but I think it's quite good. The 16-inch hi-hats. Also very sick. They're a little like looser feeling than my other pair, but my other pair are a lot older, so like, I don't know, maybe they've got a bit more grime on them. These are a little lighter feeling, a little more buttery, but I quite like them. They got a really nice slosh to them. Yeah, these are good. I'm really happy with all these. All these cymbals sound great. I'm gonna play a little bit of all of them, see how they all blend. You know what? You know what, as a set, I think these are fantastic. I think they really sound nice together, like the crashes all really blend beautifully. That's nice. That's really, really nice. I like the hi-hats too. They're in there like nice and sloshy in there. Man, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to like A/B compared to my usual tour setup and see which of like these models I might swap out. Maybe I'll just take them all. Maybe I'll just, I'll have like 8 cymbals on my kit for once. This is sick. This is really awesome. Now, a huge thank you to Dream, not just for sending me the amazing cymbals that they flicked me down for this video, but for an incredible decade of support. I truly appreciate everything that the company has done for me and with me, and I can't wait for what's to come in the next 10 years. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit subscribe, check out my other videos, and consider heading over and subscribing to the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and you get access to like extra extended content, drum samples that I've taken that you can use in your own music, and much, 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 much more. Plus, it goes a really long way into ensuring that I can continue to make more of these. So if you like these videos and you want to see more, flick me $5 and I'll make more videos. Not bad, right? Otherwise, see you on the next one.